I should have stopped talking that night. I should have bit my tongue, swallowed the truth, and let silence win for once. But when I saw her eyes drowning in questions I'd avoided for months, I couldn't help myself. "You were too deep already," I whispered, staring across the kitchen table at Rachel. And I still said more. Her fingers tightened around the coffee mug, nails clicking against ceramic. She hadn't touched her drink since it cooled. The house was dead quiet, only the hum of the fridge filling the space between us. "What do you mean by that?" she asked, voice brittle. I leaned back, dragging a hand through my hair. I had rehearsed this conversation in the car 100 times, but every version of it ended with her crying, with her leaving, with me watching the door close for good. And yet, here I was, cracking open the box I swore I'd bury forever. I mean, my throat locked up, but I forced it out. "I've been keeping things from you. Things about me. About us." Rachel blinked slowly, her jaw tightening. "Us. Yes, us. What we built, what you thought it was." Her silence hurt worse than any accusation. She just looked at me, as if her heart already knew the storm that was about to break. I pushed on. "You loved me so hard, Rachel. You trusted me without hesitation. And I let you fall that deep, knowing I wasn't giving you the whole truth." Her hand trembled. "Stop circling. Just say it." So I said it. "There's someone else." The mug slipped from her grip, shattering on the hardwood floor. Coffee bled into the cracks, dark and fast, like the truth itself spilling between us. Her face went pale, then red. "You!" She gasped for air. "You're telling me this now? After everything? After years?" "I didn't mean for it to happen," I said quickly, the oldest excuse in the book, but the only one I had. "It started small. A mistake. I told myself I could stop it, that it meant nothing, but it kept going." Rachel stood, backing away like I was a stranger. "With who?" My chest tightened. "Her name's Laura." The name hit her like a physical blow. She pressed her hand against the counter, as if it were the only thing keeping her upright. "Your co-worker." "Yes." Her laugh was broken, bitter. "I asked you about her a dozen times. I knew something was wrong, but you looked me in the eye and swore she was just a colleague." I stared down at my hands. "I lied, because I was afraid, because I wanted both you and her. And I kept taking from you, Rachel, even when I knew you were already too far in to climb out unscathed." The tears finally fell from her eyes, hot and merciless. "So was I a safety net? A housekeeper? A body to sleep next to when you weren't in her bed?" "No. God, no. You're my voice broke. You're my everything." But I was selfish. I wanted comfort and thrill, loyalty and temptation. And instead of choosing, I dragged you deeper into this lie. She shook her head violently. "You don't get to dress this up as confession and expect me to thank you. You don't get points for honesty when it comes 3 years too late." Her words carved me open. I stood, desperate, reaching for her arm. "Rachel, please. I'm telling you because I can't carry this anymore. I love you. I want you, not her." She pulled back like my touch burned. "You don't love me. You love the version of me who never found out. You love my silence, my trust, and you killed both tonight." I felt my throat closing, like all the air in the room had turned to smoke. "I thought you deserved to know. I couldn't keep letting you give me more when I already poisoned everything." She wiped her tears with shaking hands, then steadied herself. Her voice came out low, cold, final. "No, what I deserved was loyalty. You had years to stop, to come clean, to fight for us before you wrecked it. Now all you've given me is rubble." Rachel grabbed her coat from the chair, her movements sharp, decisive. For a moment, I thought she might turn back, say something softer, leave the door cracked open. But she didn't. She opened the door, stepped out, and left it slamming behind her. And I stood there in the silence, surrounded by broken porcelain and the bitter stench of spilled coffee, realizing the cruelest part of it all. She had been too deep already. And still, I said more. The house was too quiet after she left. No footsteps. No soft laugh coming from the other room. No clatter of dishes as she made breakfast while humming some song I always forgot the name of. Just silence. And the bitter stain of what I had confessed. I tried to tell myself she'd come back. That maybe she just needed air, time to cool off. But an hour later, when her phone went straight to voicemail, I knew the truth. She wasn't coming back tonight. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not ever. I wandered through the house like a ghost. Every photo frame was another wound. Us at the lake, grinning with wet hair and sunburned noses. Us at Christmas, her head on my shoulder in front of a crooked tree. Us at her sister's wedding, where she caught the bouquet and gave me that look, like she couldn't wait for our turn. And all of it sat under the shadow of my secret. I should have ended it with Laura a long time ago. Hell, I should have never started. What began as harmless texts, after-hours jokes, drinks that went a little too long, it all snowballed. And somewhere between the first kiss in the parking lot and the nights I didn't come home until dawn, I crossed the line so far I couldn't even see it anymore. But none of that mattered now. Rachel knew. The next morning, I dragged myself into the office, unshaven, hollow-eyed. Laura was there, leaning against my desk like nothing had changed. "You look like hell," she said lightly. "Late night?" I didn't answer, just brushed past her, dropping into my chair. She tilted her head. "What's wrong?" "She knows." I muttered. The color drained from her face. "Rachel?" "Yeah." I told her. Laura swore under her breath and glanced around, lowering her voice. "Why would you do that?" We were careful. Because I couldn't lie anymore, I snapped. I couldn't keep pretending while she gave me everything. It was killing me. Her lips pressed into a thin line. "So what now?" I didn't answer, because I didn't know. 2 nights later, Rachel finally called. Her voice was flat, like steel scraping glass. "I want you to pack a bag. I'll be home tomorrow morning. You can pick up the rest of your things later." "Rachel, please." No, her tone cut me off. "Don't beg. Don't explain. Just be gone when I get there." And then the line went dead. When I returned for the rest of my things a week later, the house didn't feel like mine anymore. Her energy filled every room. But I no longer belonged in it. She stayed in the kitchen while I carried boxes out, never meeting my eyes. The only words she spoke were when I picked up a framed photo of us in New Orleans. She said, "Leave that. It's mine." I nodded, setting it back on the shelf. Weeks blurred. The apartment I rented felt like a punishment cell. Every night I stared at the ceiling, replaying the same moments, her laughter, her trust, her heartbreak. And still, part of me clung to the idea of fixing it. Maybe if I showed her I'd changed. Maybe if I ended things with Laura. Maybe if I fought harder. So I called her. "Rachel, I miss you. I'm done with her. I swear. Just give me a chance to prove it." For a long silence, I thought she hung up. Then her voice came through, steady, sharp. "You want to prove something? Live with what you did. Sit in it. Feel it. Because I did. For years. I lived in your lie, and it nearly drowned me. Now it's your turn." Click. I dropped the phone, my chest caving in. Laura called me after that, expecting us to finally be together. But I couldn't even look at her without seeing the wreckage in Rachel's eyes. I ended it messy and abrupt. She yelled, accused me of using her, of wasting her time. Maybe she was right, but I couldn't give her what she wanted. I couldn't give anyone anything anymore. Months passed. I heard through mutual friends that Rachel was doing better. She'd moved in with her sister for a while, then got her own place. She joined some weekend hiking group. She even adopted a dog. She was living, healing. And me? I was surviving. Some nights, I'd drive past her street, engine idling, lights off, just to see the glow in her window. Proof she was still there. Proof I hadn't dreamed her up. I never knocked, because she had been too deep already. And I had said more. And that was the last truth between us.